Oh no. Good morning. I'm already having problems. Oh my goodness. It has been so long since my Instagram did this, and I am not sure what I'm going to do about it. So hold on, friends. We may have more than to take one because it's just like popping in and out, and it's like, oh, happy Lionsgate. So if you lose me, just know that I will be coming back. Because I certainly can't continue the live this way. So I'm popping out again. Hi, good morning. We're gonna get this together. All right. Everybody who is watching, send me all your juju so I can get this stupid thing to work because it's throwing me off. Come on, Instagram. I swear it's been a while since since Instagram did this. Let's try again. Can't even look. Oh, fucking A. Hey, hey, Carrie. Well, I don't know. Hi, Anna. Guys, I'm having serious trouble with Instagram, and I might just say to hell with Instagram. Um, and so you might want to hop on over either to YouTube, hop over to YouTube or to TikTok because um, I just I can't do it. So YouTube or TikTok, my friends. I'm about to leave YouTube or TikTok because Instagram is just not cooperating. And we don't have time for this shit this morning, right? My goodness, of all the mornings to do that. All right. So anybody who is on Instagram, go to YouTube or go to TikTok and we're gonna get this going. I'm Xing the heck out of this one. I love you. Okay. I'm not sharing it. I'm absolutely deleting it. Okay. Just do just like that. Goodbye. All right. So anyway, happy Lionsgate. Let's get some smudgies going. Well, I mean, I ended the live on Instagram a few times already because sometimes, and it hasn't happened in a while, when I go live over there, it'll say poor connection and it'll just keep buffering. And so it'll like go in and out, in and out, in and out. And it's incredibly distracting for me and it doesn't work for you guys. Um, and it's very annoying. So I'm just going to take this over here and put it down and call it a day. Now I'll look at you guys because this is just nonsense. I'm really tired. How are you guys feeling? Today is going to be a little bit of a shorter coffee and magic. We're going to focus on the card pulls this morning because we're doing all the magic this evening. So just remember, we're 7 p.m. tonight. Okay, 7 p.m. tonight for the Lionsgate ritual and activation. And my Normalized Magic members, you'll find the link for that on the My Home on the website. And everybody else, you can get a ticket. It's $11 if you want to join, and you'll find all the information for that in my profile. So all the Lionsgate stuff is tonight. All right, look, I didn't even have my earrings on. Maybe that's why Instagram wasn't working, because I didn't have my earrings on. Could be. But let's see. How's everybody doing? Let's see. We are emotional hot mess, absolutely exhausted. Nicole, I'm sending you again, like all of us boosting you up, Nicole. Kate's not sure how to feel, energized and exhausted. Is Freddie's birthday? No, Freddie's birthday week. Freddie, what day is your birthday? Catherine has body pain and is tired. Okay. And also Anna's feeling that way too. Now, something to note. Freddie's birthday is the 11th, which is the full moon. So end of the week. Something to note, my fixed signs versus mutable signs. How are you feeling? I'm a Scorpio, so I'm a fixed sign. It's it's intense right now. But the energy is moving. Are you guys feeling that? It's like, I don't know how today is going to be, quite honestly, but it is definitely moving. So, but I'm finding that my Scorpios are definitely moving. Okay, so for those of you who are asking about the signs, if you are a mutable sign is Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces. These are very like in the flow, constantly moving signs, like very adaptable signs. Fixed are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Okay, very much like, find something, stick to it kind of thing, like less flexible, I would say. And then you have cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. You can look that up and find out which you are, but I'm noticing that fixed signs are really like taking a beating right now in this energy, but everybody is being affected by this energy in a different way. And I'm noticing that some people are having like these moments of like really, really high fire energy and then dropping back in and like kind of going back and forth. But overall, like collective is hot mess. So that's the major theme song, I think, for the energy right now, right? Me too. Carrie, are you a projector? I'm glad to hear that, Valerie. I've been feeling that as well too. All right, so we're gonna get right to it this morning because it's already a really weird day for me, and like I don't know that I love it, honestly, and I'm kind of pissed off at Instagram. But I think what we really need to do today is we're going to take some deep breaths. We're going to get these cards going, and then I'm going to send you off into your day. And you're going to go do that. And then I'll see you here tonight at 7 p.m. Maybe some of you will have had a nap. And we are going to do some magic tonight. This, I don't know yet everything that is coming through for this evening as per usual, but I do know that we are definitely going to be taking time this evening to really do some body work, some energy body work, and move some things through our collective bodies. Okay, so if that is of interest to you, make sure you're tuning in at 7 p.m. If you bought a ticket, don't worry if you can't make it live, because I am going to be emailing out the recording of that after it's live. Okay, so we're going to do that. Let's just collectively take a nice deep breath in Exhale. Deep breath in. And one more time. Okay. You don't need anything special for it. You might want to have a pen and paper, just to take some notes if it feels good. But as with any type of energetic ritual or channeling event that you might want to take part in, if there's certain things you like to have with you, like different crystals, or whatever makes you feel like you're stepping into a more ritual space, definitely do that. But you don't need anything particularly for it. Just yourself. That's magical enough. All right. So if you're new here, welcome. It's a little bit different coffee and magic than usual because we are jumping right to the card pulls and getting you a message for this peak of the Lion's Gate portal. And like I said, we'll be tapping in much deeper to this energy tonight. There's a few things I need to do today for my own energy that I think will help me um, to tap into that later. All right, so for this morning, we are doing big cats. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 different cats, and then you tell me which cat you're feeling more resonant with this morning. All right, panther, obviously a black panther, panther, cougar, cheetah. Which cat are you feeling today? Panther, cougar, cheetah. I think it's interesting that lion's not in the mix, but panther, cougar, cheetah. Awesome. Panther, cougar, cheetah. Popping in there. Also reminding you, it's Lion's Gate, so there are 18 days left before I am doing Coffee and Magic live and in person in Harrisburg at Reiki Space. If you're interested in joining, you can find the link in my bio to get your ticket. I'm super excited to connect with some of you guys in person, do some magic together. Again, you're choosing from panther, cougar, cheetah. Get your message for this morning. I love that story, Janelle. Yep, I'm super excited to be at Reiki Space, Ricky. I haven't done a live event in quite some time, an in-person event in quite some time. So I'm excited to do that for my friends who are in the Harrisburg adjacent area. I will be at Reiki Space on August 20th, 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have some late coffee together and do some magic. Shayna says, does it count if we are considered a cougar? Absolutely. Absolutely. Rosa's going to be there. Exciting. I think Valerie's going to be there too, Rosa. All right. Panther, cougar, cheetah. Stop it. Okay. All right. Are you ready? I'm getting a lot of same messages. Okay. Ready? Again, I'm about to pull these cards for panther, cougar, or cheetah. And reminder, we have not dug into Lionsgate energy this morning because we're doing that tonight. So make sure you join us at 7 p.m. It's Eastern Standard Time. I'm not streaming this event live on YouTube. This will only be for Normalized Magic members or those who have purchased a ticket. So you can do that by going to the link in my bio, but not if you're a member. Remember, you don't have to do that. All right, you ready? This is your panther reading. Panther, cougar, or cheetah? Okay, so here's your story if you chose panther. High priestess, the bard, and burden. Now, this is interesting because this is a message that has been, shall we say, relentless, right? This card right here, it's the bard. And the bard is telling you to tell your story. And the bard has been saying to tell your damn story for quite some time. And it keeps kind of changing the message up on us a little bit just to make sure that everybody's getting the picture that they need to be getting, right? And what is the picture that you need to be getting? Well, I'm going to tell you because I want to help you with this immediately. This is the issue with the stories. If you chose Panther, okay, there is this underlying current of collective understanding and thought that you have tapped into that tells you that somehow your story isn't good enough, important enough, deep enough, tragic enough, whatever, lots of not enoughs to be interesting to anybody or to be something that's worth telling. And so you may feel a kind of stuckness with this, and it's not actually because you need to write your story. This is actually for you. This is your story for you. How many of you have been in a group of people and somebody is telling a story about themselves, right? And you kind of like you realize as they're telling the story that like, oh, I have a similar thing that's happened to me in my life, but I don't count that like they're counting it. How many, do you know what I'm saying? How many of you have done that where you're like, yeah, that kind of happened to me, but like it wasn't that big of a deal, so it's not really part of my story. How many of you guys have done that? Because this is kind of what this card is pointing to today. Okay? It's the trivializing of your own story that is the issue at this time. Okay? It's really damaging because do you know what it does? It makes us smaller and it doesn't allow us to actually live the experience that we've lived. Okay? So in this, it's a burden, right? It's a burden. And especially women have this as a function that we really lean into, where it's like care for others and like not worry about yourself. Like I'm fine. Like I'm strong enough to deal with this. Yeah, that happened to me, but it wasn't a big deal. And I don't mean to like start this morning off on this Monday on Lionsgate to like kind of like crack you open, but it just needs to be said. Some of you guys have had really hard things happen to you that you are not allowing to be part of your story. Okay? And that is not allowing you to be aligned with your truth. Okay? And you're allowed to tell your story. Listen, you're allowed to tell your story however you want to. So if the story you're telling of yourself feels comfortable for you, then this is not a message telling you to get uncomfortable. This is only a message that's a call to action if the story that you're telling yourself is not allowing you to be all that you are, that is keeping you off to the side and you thinking that nobody really wants to hear it. Okay? I'm going to tell you something about stories because having been around so many people who are given the opportunity to talk, like back when I used to do in-person women's circles. And now when I do, when I happen to do workshops that gather people together, we don't know, we're not trained, especially women. Um, we don't know how to listen to other people's stories. Okay. And my theory on that is that we are so starved in our society, so starved. We want to tell our stories, but have no opportunity or outlet to do that, save when another person is telling their story and triggers us to then tell ours. And what ends up happening is, like, I've seen it a million times. You're in a group of women, and one woman starts saying, this happened to me, and, I felt this, and this. And the way that the other women know how to connect with that person who's speaking is by saying, "Oh, I know exactly what you mean because this happened to me and that happened to me." And what that does is it completely takes the focus off the person who's telling the story. And the person who's telling the story, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see their energy go inward, and they're going to get quiet because they don't have the energy to fight, to keep telling their story. And you've just taken the attention away from them. Now they feel like they need to take care of you. And this is not a criticism, it's an awareness, because we don't have enough spaces to tell our story. So, what's the answer? How do we get to a place where you can listen to somebody, not to let them know that you've gone through the similar thing, but like with actual curiosity, right? When's the last time you listened to somebody and actually listened to them and were like, "Ooh, what are you saying?" And like ask real questions, like, "Tell me what that felt like for you. How about this? How about that?" Because the truth of the matter is, you can have similar things that have happened to you that someone else has had happen to them, but they're not the same. Nobody's experience is the same. So don't sit there and listen to somebody's story and be like, "That happened to me, so I know all about it." No, you don't. Are you them? You don't. So just try to know, right? But if we don't have then spaces that are for us to tell our story, we're so hungry to tell our story that any opportunity we just like jump the fuck in, right? So the answer is not like to be mad at yourself, but like, hey, more opportunities for us to tell our stories in less of a traumatic, triggered space, right? Because we want people to know us so much, right? We want people to understand us and know who we are so much. And we just need to know how to do that better. That's all. So that's happening. Um, High Priestess is, was kind of mixed into that message, but I just want to say real quick. I know this is the Panther method message. Um, it really is about tapping into your own ability to do that magic for yourself. Okay, to tell your story in such a way that you're not trying to jump on other people's story, but you feel very sovereign and steady in exactly who you are and what your lived experience is. Okay, so that is your Panther message for this morning. More coffee. Cougar's coming up. All right. Oh, 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 whoa. We haven't had one of these in a million freaking years. All right. Wow. Okay. So, cougar message. Lots of Instagram troubles. I gave up and I'm not touching Instagram. So I'm so sorry about that, guys. It's not my fault, but I'm embarrassed for Instagram. All right. Today it's Panther, Cougar, and Cheetah. This is your Cougar message. Look at this, guys. You've got the love card, you've got the partnership card, and you've got the Grail Knight. This is a deeply, deeply romantic spread, like another. I mean, I've never like we don't usually get very like lovey-dovey romantic pulls here in Coffee Magic. I don't know why. Like I wouldn't mind it, but like we don't usually get that. And so I'm excited for us that we have this today, right? I'm excited for us. Okay. So love, partnership, and the Grail Knight. All right. Just side note, if you pick this one and you are have heavy Pisces placement, especially if your Pisces is in Venus. Just a quick thing to tell you about this one, and this, I mean, it could be for anybody, but especially if you have your Pisces and Venus or you have strong Pisces placements. The Grail Knight is kind of a warning to you, okay? Like just a heads up. You have a tendency to romanticize people, okay, and relationships. And that gets you in trouble, right? Because you see what you want to see, and then when what is actually there to see starts to be revealed, you're like brokenhearted and you can't believe it, and your illusions are shattered. Be easy on that right now, because the most important thing is you, right? And your perception and how you are processing a situation. um, Getting carried away is fun. Getting swept up in a daydream is fun, especially if you're a Pisces. Um, but just be aware that sometimes the carried awayness is you hurting your own feelings. So just take a minute and like tap into what is actually being said, what is actually being done, as opposed to what you want those things to mean. Okay, so that's a side note for my Pisces heavy placements. Okay, now you have the Grail Knight, partnership, and love. This is a relationship draw. Okay, at this time, a lot of people are separating from people they've been with for a long time, and a lot of people are coming together with people that are feeling so good to them. Okay. And the reason for that is that humans are meant to be in partnership with each other. We came here to experience that unique chemical cocktail known as love. Okay. And it's really important, really, really important to give honor to that, okay, and to honor the feelings that you are able to have at this time, your own love feelings, your own relationship feelings, and like gather that in as close to you as possible. It feels really good. If you have been hesitating in reconnecting in partnership with somebody at this time, this is kind of your sign to be like, listen to your heart, right? Like the song says, when it's calling for you. Um, what is that? But it's in my head. But listen to yourself, right? Because it's kind of a birthright for humans to enjoy that kind of connection. And you've done so much healing. So a lot of the fears you have from the past about being hurt are really outdated, because we don't really do hurt that way anymore, right? And again, remember I side noted the Pisces people, so just you listen to that, Pisces people. But we don't hurt ourselves the same way we used to in relationship, because we're so much more sovereign now, right? So it's a lot safer to kind of just enter into relationships with boundaries, standards, and expectations. You're not desperate for shit because you're good all by yourself. So anybody adding to your life needs to be adding to your life. And if they're taking away, they can just go, right? So you're always in that space now. So you don't have to worry about it. You can say, let's try this. And when it doesn't feel good, you could say, and now we're done. It's just a reminder about that. But you guys have love on the brain. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice, and I very much like it. We're going to talk more about that tonight as well, because the Lionsgate energy is actually bringing with it a lot of relationship energy. So we'll talk about that later tonight. All right, last one is Cheetah. I told my children that they had to make their own breakfast this morning and get ready for camp. And I am deeply curious to know if that's something um, that has happened for them. All right. Cheetah. A lot of people are texting me this morning. What is happening? How do I think I usually have it like do not disturb. There we go. Okay. So, cheetah. Oh, look who's here. It's the boundary cat himself. Risk, disruption. Okay. So, this is your cheetah. You have the cat, risk, and disruption. Interesting that we have all cats today anyway. So everybody check your boundaries, right? Um, but if you chose cheetah, you really are asked to remember about boundaries. Boundaries save lives, people. Boundaries are your protection spells. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Um, whereas before, you may have been very accessible, right? You need to not be so accessible anymore. If people want access to you, they really need to earn that space. That doesn't mean you're not kind, doesn't mean you're not generous, doesn't mean you're not loving and sweet and delightful. It means that if somebody wants inner circle time with you, they need to earn that space. Okay? Nobody has a right to it. Okay? Nobody. So this first, because you got a lot of stuff swirling that you need your boundaries in place, my cheetah friends, in order to navigate what's ahead of you, um, to your ultimate satisfaction, let's say, because you got disruption and risk. You're about to do something wild and crazy according to you, and it might not be wild and crazy according to me or anyone else, but it's wild and crazy to you because you're stepping way out of your comfort zone, and because you did that, you've activated you've like activated a series of events, right? Because you've stepped out of your comfort zone. And so it's like almost like you tripped the wire and now things are moving. And it's freaking you out a little bit because you're like, oh crap. But you can't untrip it. You already did it. So, too bad. You're in it now. You're playing this game. So you went ahead, you stepped out of your comfort zone. You triggered a thing and now everything's in place. And you're like, no, because and it's like, well, friend, unfortunately, we are way past that. So what's happening now is a lot of disruption because there are probably in like for some of you, this is me included, the past week or so has been like very what the fuck because a lot of things that needed to be like cleared out in order for this to keep going um, were cleared out. And I'm talking fast. We're growing so fast that like we have energetic stretch marks at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like, whoa, like we just shot the hell up. It's like overnight. And that is very stressful in the body. It's very stressful on the emotions and it's confusing. It's very disruptive, but it's really a necessary part of this because you basically like, you made a choice and now you're like playing the big game and you had to level up really quickly in order to play that, right? So trust the process on this one. All right. You're absolutely equipped. You're just a little tired. Remember your boundaries. Don't stop with this. This is most important. It's better not to have anybody around you right now than to have people around you who are just fucking with you constantly. I was talking to somebody recently who's saying like, I really need to work on my self-esteem. That's my biggest thing. My self-esteem, I got to figure out how to fix that. And I said to them, instead of like figuring out how to fix your self-esteem, why not just stop being around people who constantly affirm that you're not worthy? How about instead just being around people who make you feel good about yourself and then let that do the work for you instead of thinking you have to like break yourself apart. Because typically, um, if you don't feel confident in yourself, if you don't feel happy with yourself, if you don't feel any of those things, like it might feel like you need fixing. But what usually needs fixing is the environment, right? Think of how if you've ever gotten a fish, right? And you get a new fish and you bring him home and you have your tank. You don't just take the fish, dump it into the water. You take the fish in its bag, in the water it came with, and you put the whole thing in the fish tank and you wait so that the temperature of the fish's original water evens out with the temperature of the water all around it. And then eventually, when its system is acclimated, you can let it go into the water. It's the same thing with healing any of those things for yourself that are environmentally triggered, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You've just been swimming in water that's telling you that you're kind of a piece of shit. And maybe if you were in water that told you that you were beautiful, miraculous, you would feel that instead. In fact, I know you would. So instead of looking at yourself and attacking yourself as though you're a problem and you need to fix it, you need to fix the way you think about yourself, how about look at your environment and say, maybe this is the problem and I need a new environment and I need to be gentle with myself and patient with myself as I acclimate to being around people who actually treat me like a real person and who value my time, who value my words, who value my presence, right? It's going to feel weird at first if you're used to not feeling like that. It's really hard, but you got to keep going. And that's the risk you're taking right now. That it feels wonky and you feel like you can't even really move because it's like you're in a place but there's nowhere to go because you're still in that stupid plastic bag and like your old water is still kind of around you but it's changing and it's a lot. But hey, I don't think you're going to be in that bag that much longer. So, you got this. All right? That is your cheetah message for this morning. Like I said, we're zipping through. I love you. Happy peak of Lionsgate. Happy 808. I cannot wait tonight to do some magic with you. We kick off at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My Normalized Magic members, your link is on the front page of Inner Sanctum on the my home page, okay? For everybody else, if you would like to join, you can get yourself a ticket. And the ticket is to be found in the link in my bio. If you can't make it live, it will be emailed to you, so don't worry about that, okay? I hope you have an amazing day. Move slow, check your boundaries, all right? Energy's weird. It feels like it's going to be weird all day. Boop, 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 pockets of like amazing and pockets of weird. So just flow with it. Don't lock your knees, all right? And I'll see you tonight. If you are not signed up for my email list, make sure you're signed up. I will be sending an email out at some point today with more information for this evening. Okay? Mwah! I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. You're welcome. Mwah. See you tonight.